This conference will now be recorded.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अल्लाहुल कय्यूम अली अल्लाह अल्लाहुल कय्यूम अली अल्लाह मदद फरमा अल्लाहुल कय्यूम अली अल्लाह मदद फरमा अल्लाहुल कय्यूम अली अल्लाह मदद फरमा नूर मौलाना शाह करीम हुसैनी हाजिर इमाम या मौलाए मेहरबान मदद फरमा या मौलाए मेहरबान मदद फरमा या मौला या मौला या मौलाए मेहरबान मदद फरमा अल्लाहुल कय्यूम अली अल्लाह मदद फरमा या मौला तौफीक ताहीद हिम्मत व यारी मौला तौफीक ताहीद हिम्मत व यारी मौला या मौला मदद फरमा तमाम साथियों को एक बार फिर या अली मदद एंड थैंक यू फॉर जॉइनिंग अस दिस मॉर्निंग। आज हम कंटिन्यू करेंगे मॉन्ट्रियल कनाडा अगस्त 15 1992 बैतुल ख्याल फरमान से which we were reading last week. We will continue today inshallah. आपको याद होगा कि इस फरमान के अंदर मौला ने हमें किस तरह से जब जब इबादत के अंदर डिस्टर्बेंस होता है, we get distracted, how and what do we need to do to get back in the concentration, कि जब जब डिस्टर्बेंस हो तो क्या करें कि हम दोबारा से इबादत के अंदर आराम से बैठ सके। और उसके बारे में हमने एक जगह पर मौला ने फरमाया कि आप अपने दिल को खोल कर बैठे, कीप योर हार्ट ओपन। वी विल स्टार्ट फ्रॉम दैट and then we will move forward. I believe, in my humble Garib wa Nachi's opinion, that this was the important part. Keep your heart open. मेरे ख्याल में ये बहुत ही जरूरी था कि मौला ने फरमाया कि आप अपने दिल को खोल कर बैठे, जिसके अंदर बहुत ही गहरे माने छुपे हुए हैं। I believe this is very important फरमान, and the meaning behind it is, number one, do you believe in what Imam have said, what Imam have given you, the blessing and duashish which came with Isme Azam? Do you believe? उसके अंदर जो सबसे अव्वल अंडरस्टैंडिंग थी वो ये थी कि क्या आपको यकीन है, ईमान है कि जो इसमें आजम इमाम ने आपको दिया है और जो दुआ आशीष मौला ने फरमाई है, क्या आपको उस पर यकीन है? दिल खोल के बैठना यानी कि आप यकीन करें और इबादत में बैठे। बिलीव and then sit in the ibadat. Second, be happy. Be happy when you sit in ibadat. आप जब इबादत में बैठे अपनी खुशी के साथ बैठे, not with burden, because ibadat is not compulsion, is not faraz, is not a push, cannot be a burden. जब आप इबादत में बैठे हैं तो आप खुशी के साथ बैठे हैं, with happiness, with happiness. Another meaning of keep your heart open, be happy. Number 3, sitting in ibadat itself is a blessing. क्योंकि जब आप खुशी खुशी अपना दिल खोलकर, meaning you have faith, iman, that what Imam has given you is correct, it would work, and it will give you the spiritual happiness, the light, the understanding, the batini marifat will come with it. चूंकि आपको ईमान होता है, अब जब आप इबादत में बैठते हैं तो वो बैठना ही आपके लिए एक मर्सी, रहमत का बाइस बनता है। और चूंकि आपने यकीन किया है, ईमान लाया है, तो वो फिर रंग देता है। So with those few points, let's move forward into the Farman. Mullah, in talking with the tradition of ibadat, फरमाते हैं, this tradition in our tariqa is one which has kept murids strong for centuries in difficulty, and they have had spiritual strength which is very powerful indeed. मौला एक अपने लेक्चर में फरमाते हैं कि वो लोग, यानी कि वो मुसलमान जो इबादत करना भूल गए, शरीयत के पीछे ऐसे पड़े कि इबादत करना भूल गए, और यही वजह उनके गिरने की थी. In one place Imam says that our brother and sister, other Muslims, what was the reason for the destruction? That they forgot ibadat. They ran after the shariat so much that they forgot the ibadat, and that caused the destruction of the societies and beliefs. Contrary to that, हमारे तरीके के अंदर, within our tradition, within our tariqa, we have kept this tradition of ibadat, and that has kept us strong, had given us spiritual strength to face whatever difficulties we may have. May it be a physical, spiritual, or intellectual. We are able to face those difficulties. May it be emotional, psychological, or definitely economical. We are able to face those difficulties, because this will give us spiritual strength, because our soul is powerful with the ibadat, with the remembrance, with the Imam's blessing. We will be able to face whatever difficulties it may come. आपने समझ लिया कि हमारे तरीके में जो इबादत की रस्म है, उसकी वजह से हमारे अंदर जो स्पिरिचुअल स्ट्रेंथ आता है, जो रूहानी कुव्वत पैदा होती है, इस कुव्वत ने हमें तमाम डिफिकल्टीज से बचा के रखा, चाहे वो दुनियावी डिफिकल्टीज थी, चाहे वो रूहानी डिफिकल्टीज थी, चाहे वो अकलानी डिफिकल्टीज थी, चाहे वो इमोशनल डिफिकल्टीज थी, या इकोनॉमिकल डिफिकल्टीज थी, या जियो इकोनॉमिक और पॉलिटिकल सिचुएशन थी। सब चीज से हमको बचा के रखा और तकलीफ के अंदर हमारे लिए आसानी पैदा की, बल्कि तकलीफ में हमारे लिए अपॉर्चुनिटी पैदा की। And we have a recent events that we can see this one paragraph applied to the Mu'mineen. During 2 year plus of COVID lockdown, during Afghanistan issues, how our friends, brothers and sisters, they went through all these difficulties in Syria and other part of the world. What was keeping them strong? It was our tradition of ibadat. What Imam is saying in this short 2 line, that don't run after the Shariat as our other brother and sister have done in the Ummah, but keep to the tradition of our tariqah of the ibadat. And this will give you spiritual strength, which will help you in whatever difficulties we are facing, inshallah. Next line. The bowl I will give you is symbolic, and I will try to explain this symbolism to you. Here, a question should come in our mind. I truly wish that we can take this one paragraph to the entire Jamaat, and especially those who does ibadat, who have received this Azam, who would like to wake up in the morning for bandagi. Maybe Imam has given you the title of Da'i, and us 100 can take the message to 10, 15 million Ismailis. And out of those who have taken the bandagi seriously, who have taken this Azam. And what we are about to learn here, in my, again, very humble opinion, my understanding of the Isme Azam and Ibadat, that the bowl Imam gives is a symbolic In answering one of the question last week, we had talked about that Isme Azam is one of the name of Allah from the Quran usually. जिस तरह से हमने अपने पिछले सेशन के अंदर एक सवाल के जवाब देते हुए अर्ज की थी कि जो बोल होता है वो अमूमन कुरान के अंदर से खुदा के नामों में से एक नाम होता है अमूमन, और वो नाम के अंदर within that इसमें आजम, within that bowl, what is important, the blessing of the imam and the nur which comes with it. And the example of the bowl was given as a handkerchief. उस इसमें आजम के साथ जो दुआ आशीष खाना वदान और उसके अंदर जो नूर समाया होता है, और इसमें आजम की मिसाल हमने एक रुमाल से ली थी कि जैसा एक रुमाल के अंदर इमाम अपनी दुआ आशीष, अपने खाना वदान, अपना नूर डालकर आपको देता है. The bowl itself is a symbolic, क्योंकि ये नाम आप कुरान से खुद ही पढ़ सकते हैं. But what comes with it, I hope you are understanding this line, this Farman. Because sometimes, because of not understanding the very bowl, the very prayers, Khanavadan, the wish of the Imam for each one of us is to have a Nurani Didar at least once in our lifetime. The Nur, which is supposed to touch our heart at least one time in our lifetime. We are not able to receive the Nur because we are not understanding completely. So Imam in this one Farman is truly showing us how to think, what to do, what not to do, and how to be successful. How lucky and blessed we are. How lucky and blessed we are. कि एक ही फरमान में मौला हमको बंदगी करने के तमाम असूलों के बारे में डिटेल के अंदर फरमा रहे हैं कि क्या करना है और क्या नहीं करना है, किस तरह से बैठना है और कब नहीं बैठना है. दोनों तरफ से मौला हमें सिखा रहे हैं. सो लेट्स कम बैक टू दिस कि जो बोल है वो तो एक मिसाल है, वो तो एक सिंबल है, एक निशानी है, क्योंकि ये बोल आप खुद ही और कोई भी जो कुरान पढ़ने वाला है वो उससे हासिल कर सकता है. उसके अंदर जो असल चीज है, यानी कि उस नाम के पीछे, उस नाम के अंदर जो असल चीज है वो इमाम की ख्वाहिश आपके लिए, इमाम की विश आपके लिए, इमाम की प्रेयर्स आपके लिए, इमाम के खाना वदान आपके लिए, और इमाम का नूर आपके लिए रखा हुआ है. So bowl I will give you is symbolic, and I will try to explain this symbolism to you so that when you sit in bandagi ताकि जब आप बंदगी में बैठे, you are aware of the concentration that you are having, ताकि आप जब इबादत में बैठे और जब आपकी तवज्जो इस बॉल की तरफ जाए तो आपको पता होना चाहिए कि ये बॉल आपके लिए क्या करने वाला है. With your permission, I would like to go into little bit more detail how इसमें आजम works. आपकी इजाजत से 2 मिनट लेते हुए नाचीज यहाँ पर इसमें आजम किस तरह से काम करता है वो बयान करने की कोशिश करता है. हमारी तवज्जो के लिए, हमारे कंसंट्रेशन के लिए, हमारे डिसिप्लिन के लिए इमाम हमें एक बोल सिंबल के तौर पर देते हैं ताकि हम उसके ऊपर फोकस कर सकें और उसके मानी जानते हुए हमें उस वर्ड नहीं, उसके जो मानी है उसके अंदर उतरना होता है. और जब आप इस बोल को प्रैक्टिस करते हुए, रिमेंबर, प्रैक्टिस करते हुए, और प्रैक्टिस कभी करते हैं आप ड्यूरिंग द डे, और रात को जब आप इम्तिहान के लिए बैठते हैं, so when do you practice? During the day. And night time when you sit for your test. Now you are worried free, you are sitting with no burden, no pressure. आप आराम से खुशी से किसी दबाव के बगैर बैठते हैं. और चूंकि आपने प्रैक्टिस दिन में की होती है, because you have already practiced during the day, now you are just completely focused on this ball, on this Razam, which is in front of you as a symbol. And because you have practiced, I hope you are catching my what I'm trying to tell you. Because you have practiced, चूंकि आपने प्रैक्टिस की होती है, अब वो इसमें आजम खुद ब खुद, now this इसमें आजम automatically working for you. That's a key to the success of ibadat. I don't think I need to say anymore. I wish we will take this message to our families, those brothers and sisters who would like to do ibadat. Because without the ibadat, we would have no other difference between us and any other tradition, because everyone follows Shariat. Then what is the difference between you, me, and others in the Ummah? It is the ibadat of the Isme Azam of the Imam, that practice in our tradition, that keeps us afloat above all other matters. Those are Imam's word. Above all other matters. Ibadat. So Mullah says, I would like my spiritual children to indicate to you certain circumstances in which you should not perform bandagi. You see, initially Mullah told us what to do, how to, and now he's telling us this is not a burden. There is no pressure. So there may be time it is when it's okay not to do bandagi. But those are only limited to those few circumstances, those times when you cannot. पहले मौला ने हमें फरमाया कि किस तरह से इबादत करनी है, क्या करना है. अब मौला हमें समझाते हैं कि चूंकि इबादत में कोई जोर जबरदस्ती नहीं, ऐसे वक्त भी आएगा कि जब अगर आप इबादत नहीं करते हैं तो ओके है आप. So Mullah says the first is if you are ill health, अगर आप बीमार हैं, if you are unwell, आपकी तबीयत सही नहीं है, don't perform bandagi, don't perform bandagi, because you will not be able to concentrate, right? The second is for spiritual daughters who are expecting. अगर हमारी बहनें, हमारी बेटियां, अगर वो प्रेग्नेंट है, एक्सपेक्टिंग है, तो ओके नॉट टू परफॉर्म बंदगी. They should not perform bandagi. This is not appropriate for them at that time. But otherwise, seek to be regular, and above all, when you sit in bandagi, be humble, be humble, be humble. And I would like to explain this part a little bit further. अगर आप बीमार नहीं हैं, अगर आपको कोई तकलीफ नहीं है, आपकी तबीयत बरोबर है, तो फिर then you must be regular in your bandagi. And look at what Mola Baba says after that. Be humble, be humble, be humble. How can we be humble? What do I need to do to be humble? Should I just use some words to be humble? Or is humble is the way of life for moment? Is humbleness comes from your tongue or by your action? And about that, does humbleness come from your mind? How you think about it? It really makes me surprised. It really surprises me. मुझे इस बात से बड़ा ताज्जुब होता है कि जब कोई कहता है ओ मैं तो रोजाना 3 बजे उठ जाता हूं, मैं तो रोजाना 4 बजे उठ जाता हूं, मैं तो रोजाना बंदगी में जाता हूं, मैं तो कभी भी बंदगी को नहीं चुकता हूं. Does that show humility and humbleness of that person? क्या ये उस शख्स की ह्यूमिलिटी को, हम्बलनेस को शो करता है? इट रियली सरप्राइजेस मी. मुझे बड़ा ताज्जुब होता है जब कोई शख्स बड़े जोर से और गुरूर के साथ ये कहता है कि मैं तो कभी इबादत को नहीं चुकता हूं, मैं तो कभी भी 4 बजे के बाद नहीं सोता हूं, मैंने 15 साल से इबादत की है. That really surprises me. What happened to the part of humility and humbleness? क्योंकि इबादत में बैठना एक ब्लेसिंग है, ये इमाम की रहमत है. It is not you that you are able to sit in ibadat. Then why are you proud of that? It is not you that sits in ibadat. It is truly the blessing of the imam that you are able to sit in ibadat. You are able to wake up on time. You are able to come and have that happiness, that opportunity to come to the Jamaat Khana. That is truly a blessing. It's not your doing. Be humble, be humble, be humble. आपने देखा कि इमाम ने किस तरह से हमें बच्चों की तरह समझाया है. He is teaching us like children. That when you are not sick, then you must be regular in your bandagi, and when you sit in bandagi, be humble. Do some sajda, do some girya azari. Tell Mola Bapa how blessed you are that today you were able to wake up and you were able to sit in bandagi. Show your humility by your action, and above that, by your thoughts. Because if you in your mind think that you are better than others because you are able to go to Jamaat Khana every day, you are better than others because you are able to do ibadat every day, you are better than others because you are the only one who's following Imam Farman. That's not humility. And that comes from your thought. Then it reflects on your action. Then eventually it comes on your tongue. क्योंकि पहले दिमाग के अंदर ये बात आती है कि मैं ये हूं, फिर वो आपके एक्शन के अंदर नजर आता है, और इसके बाद आपकी जबान पर ये बात आ जाती है. बी हम्बल, बी हम्बल, बी हम्बल. Don't think that because you are sitting in bandagi, you have a right to that light. आप फोर्स नहीं कर सकते हैं, चूंकि मैं इबादत में बैठता हूं तो मुझे नूर मिलना चाहिए. Be humble again, Mullah says. Don't think you have a right to that Noor. Noor is a blessing. Noor is a blessing. Imam will give you the Noor when you are ready. When Imam wants to give you the Noor, in one of the Farman Mullah said, it may be the very first time you sit in Ibadat. It may be within the week and a month you sit in Ibadat, and it may not happen for years. But believe me, when you are ready, when you meet all the conditions, remember Imam gave you Isme Azam so you may have the Noor. Why would Imam give you Isme Azam if we had already decided he was not going to give you the Noor? He wants you to have it. Matter of fact, he put it in your Isme Azam and gave to you already. Because he loves you so much. He wants each one of us to have that spiritual experience, the blessing and the happiness. So when we are ready, he will give to us. When it's good for us, we will receive. क्योंकि अगर इमाम नहीं देना चाहते थे आपको नूर, तो वो हमको इसमें आजम क्यों देते हैं? क्योंकि वो तो चाहता है कि इसका हर रूहानी बच्चा जिंदगी में कम से कम एक मर्तबा नूर की ये खुशी हासिल करे. और जब हम रेडी हो जाएंगे तो ये रहमत हम पर आ जाएंगी, किसी शख्स के बगैर. इमाम से सर्च आउट दैट लाइट एंड इंशाल्लाह इट विल टच यू. आप ढूंढें, देखें कि किस मकाम पर किस तरह से इमाम ने आपको आपके इसमें आजम ही के अंदर ये नूर डाल के दे दिया है. अगर आपने उसको ढूंढा तो ये इंशाल्लाह आपका हो गया। इमाम एक बादशाह की तरह है। If you search, this light is yours. The example of Imam is like a king. What he's saying, if you search for the Nur, then it will touch you, it is yours. But you have to search for it. You have to seek that light with humility, with humbleness. इमाम एक बादशाह की तरह है, उसने तो आपको दे दिया, अब आपका काम है आप उसको अपने इसमें आजम के अंदर से निकाल कर ढूंढ कर उसको हासिल कर लें. And that is Imam's wish for you. Imam did not say maybe, he said it will, it will, it will touch you. With the blessing, Mola says, and I give you my best, 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 special, loving blessings. Khana Vadan, Khana Vadan, Khana Vadan. Please recite the Holy Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. Inshallah, with this Farman, remember this Farman. And this is in your book, if you like to look it up, on page number 57 in your very first book. And Farman is from Montreal, Canada, August 15, 1992. Find this Farman. If you don't, ask Kamriya Sahib and he will be happy to share this Farman book with you. It's on page number 57. This Farman gives you a complete understanding what to do, what not to do, how to sit, and how to be successful in ibadat. Imam's blessing is with each one of us. And Imam truly loves you, and therefore he wants you to have this Isme Azam. He gives you this Isme Azam with his Khanavadan and wish that Noor touches your heart at least once in your lifetime. So you may have that spiritual experience in this world, in our lifetime. Inshallah ta'ala. So let me stop here. Now, if you have any comments or question, please go ahead and unmute and ask. G.
Subhanallah, sir, Subhanallah. Friends, if you have any question, please share in the chat room or you can ask later. Sir, we
आपका आवाज चला गया है कामरे साहब?
so, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So the first question your friend is asking, how do you practice bowl during the day?
How? All right. So there are two different ways which Nachis had explained in our series of lectures of Isme Azam and Bol, Isme Azam and Ibadat. So there are series of lectures that you can listen and understand further. As a short, number one, quietly when you are driving, when you are at work, when you are walking, when you are eating, resting, recite your Isme Azam so much within your heart that it becomes part of your rhythm. That's number one. Number two, and this is very important that you understand how. Number two, take some time during the day and sit by yourself.
सर आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही थी.
Okay, अब आ रही है?
जी सर अब आ रही.
Okay, okay, thank you. When do you practice for your exam? You practice for your exam days and hours before. You do not go to the exam hall and then practice. No, 4 o'clock is the time for the test, time for the exam. You must practice during the day. So there are two different ways. One all day long, and second, do take, and this is very, very important. Take some time during the day. Take a break from your busy life. It could be just 15 minutes. It could be just 1 hour. Sit aside and practice your bowl because you want that bowl to be so one with you by your thought and with your soul that when you sit in ibadat, the bowl will become automatic because you have already practiced. It is in your mind, it is imposed on your heart. Only thing now you have to do is open your heart and sit in ibadat. Ibadat is not that hard. It's not. Unless you wanted to make it hard. Otherwise, ibadat is not that hard. Practice, practice, practice. G. Any other comments or question?
Yes, sir, we have received another question. Friends asking, if Isme Azam has the Noor, does every soul not have the Noor? What is the difference? Please elaborate between these.
G. So we all have the soul, a copy of the Imam. Each one of us do. But when we go for Betul Khyal Isme Azam ceremony, remember it is the blessing when we are in front of the Imam of the time receiving the Isme Azam. At that time, he gives his Noor, he puts it inside the Isme Azam with his blessing and Khanavadan. And then you can say each one of us has his Noor, but in the handkerchief is closed. The example of that is it is nice and bright outside, but if my eyes are closed, doesn't matter how bright it is outside, I cannot enjoy it because my eyes are closed. What does practice of ibadat does? It opens your eyes to the nur which is already in you. So yes, you have the nur. Now this nur, because you asked what is the difference? The difference is a spark compared to a full-fledged fire. A spark only can show you that there is the light present in you. A spark. A fire will give you the light in which you can move forward. You can see the batin. You can see both of the world. So difference between the spark and the full-fledged fire, one only identify that you have the light. fire shows you what batin is. So if you take that spark which Imam have put in you, you already have it in every one of us have it. But you cannot leave that spark. You need to make it a fire. How do you do it? इसमें आजम को रगड़ने से वो स्पार्क फायर बनता है जी
Okay, so we have another question. I have a dilemma. I often recite tasbih during the day, so I just convert saying to bowl.
I don't think it's a dilemma. I mean, if you are doing your tasbih, you are already blessed, right? Because tasbihs are also important, but for a while, just for a while, you need to take your Isme Azam and practice during the daytime until the Isme Azam becomes automatic, meaning it becomes part of your thought and gets embossed on your heart. Until then you can go back to tasbih because tasbihs are also very, very important because tasbihs are the wings. Tasbihs are the wings to your Isme Azam. But you have to have Isme Azam alive before you give it a wing. जो तस्बियात है वो आपके दो पर है इसमें आजम पर लगने वाले लेकिन पहले इसमें आजम भी तो जिंदा होना चाहिए ताकि वो उड़ सके you see the balance so you are really lucky that if you are already in the practice of doing tasbih take some time out of it like 15 minutes 1 hour and practice your ball so that tasbih can help you fly that ball. You see how it goes hand in hand. But you have to have a living, alive, automatic Isme Azam. And how do you do that? By practice. And then tasbihs will also help you fly that Isme Azam. G.
Right. Sir, we don't have any questions in the chat. Friends, if you have a question, please unmute your device.
Ya Ali Madad, Aziz, sir.
Ya Ali Madad.
I'm Shehnaz. This is Shehnaz. Amul Ali Madad. Aziz, sir, I don't know if I give you the permission to rephrase or correct my question. I wouldn't to know is soul gender based when we say my brother.
Okay. आपकी आवाज कट रही है लेकिन let me rephrase what I understood. Are you asking the soul is gender based? Okay. G.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, we need to mute everyone because. All right. Thank you.
Friends,
Thank
please
you. Just
mute your devices.
बीच में शोर बहुत है. Okay. Soul जो है soul itself is not gender based. But in the body, we are. How? Let me show you how easy this question can be understood. We are all part of Imam's soul. The one single soul. It's not two soul, one single soul. We are all part of one single soul, the universal soul, the soul of the Imam of the time. The very soul which was breathed into the Adam. One soul. It's not two soul. So you see, if it's only one soul, then it cannot be gender based. But in the body, and that is one of the principle of the Quranic talimat. The soul is one, Allah is one, Imam is one. Everything outside of that are in the pairs, juft, juft. अल्लाह और उसकी रूह और उसका नूर यानी कि उसका इमाम एक है, क्योंकि वो तीनों एक ही बात हो रही है. आप अल्लाह कहें, उसकी रूह कहें, उसका नूर इमाम कहें, एक ही बात है, एक है. बाकी तमाम चीजें जोड़े जोड़े में है, जुफ्त जुफ्त में है. They are all in the pairs. So when we are in the physical body, we are in pairs. Male, female, male, female, male, female. G.
Sir, we have one more question in the chat. How do you know that your Isme Azam is embossed in your heart? Are there any signs?
Very good question. Yes, definitely. Because everywhere you will turn around. Every time you have a second, a moment of quietness, your Isme Azam will become live. Because it was embossed on your heart. Instantly you will be able to see it and remember it. That moment of quietness, that 1 second, that split second, every time you will close your mouth, you close your eyes, you close your ears, you will be able to see, remember, and hear your Isme Azam when it's on your heart. And that comes with the practice. That's a very good question. That if you practice your Isme Azam, and because you have practiced your Isme Azam, now your thoughts and your heart are in sync, meaning your heart not running toward the world and your thoughts are trying to force you to concentrate on the ball. That would not be the case. They both will be in sync. So, closing your eyes, closing your mouth, and closing your ears are part of your practice. So, you give opportunity to your batini thoughts, Betul Khyal, your batini voice, your Isme Azam, and your batini's ears, so you can hear your Isme Azam from within you. But you have to close your physical eyes and ears. Because if you keep talking, you will not be able to hear yourself. That's how you practice your Isme Azam. That's how you will know that your Isme Azam has been embossed and have become alive and automatic in your heart and in your mind, because you will be able to see it, you will be able to hear it, and you will be able to think about it. Meaning, Betul Khayal. You will be able to dive into your batin and you will be able to see it. Thank you. G.
Right. So another question: how do you know your heart is open when you are sitting in the bandagi?
That is very individual personal question. You and you only. You and you only can tell. How do I tell you what your iman looks like? Because opening of the heart has to do with your belief, with your iman. Opening of the heart has to do with your belief and your iman, right? So that is individual. And believe me, if you believe in Imam's word, if you believe in Imam's word, if you practice what Imam is telling you, you will know your heart is open, ready to receive. You will know because you believe it. G.
So we don't have any question in the chat. Friend, please unmute your device if you have any question.
Yeah, Ali Madad, sir.
Ya Ali Madad.
That was a beautiful discussion of the Farman today. I just remember a couple of lines of Imam's Betul Khair Farman, which I would like to share with you and the members all over, if it's okay with you.
G.
Imam says in the one of the Betul Khair Farman, which I remember, and it says, "It is my wish, it is my hope, it is my aspiration, it is my prayer, and it is my blessing that you all succeed in your bowl."
Ameen.
And the next line is even more beautiful. Imam says, "If you succeed, my happiness will be enormous. It will be
Subhanallah.
as wide as the universe."
Subhanallah.
So I pray for your success. And that's
Ameen.
all. Thank you.
Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Do share those lines and the date with the friends because those are great, great connection to this Farman. That is a great connection. Thank you, Dr. Saib. Let's make a last question and then we can close today's session. Any last question?
Aziz Ba, I have a
Ji.
question. Just now when there was a talika and Mola Bapa, this is to do with Bangi, but then Mola Bapa said in the talika, in the end, I am always with you. So
Subhanallah.
can you connect this with Betul Khiyal? I mean, I know he is with us, but how can, as we are doing our Bangi, connect with him and realize he is with me, that he is with me all the time? That I have difficulty in understanding.
Is one single word is your answer. Believe.
Yeah, I believe, but do I have to feel it? I
You
don't
will
feel it.
if you believe, you will feel it. Because that means we have to work on our belief. There's one lecture I would request you to listen to. It's called Firm Believe. Firm Believe. If you listen to the lecture, I think it's only 20 minutes lecture, which
Yes.
Nachis had delivered back in the days. Firm Believe. You listen to that Farman, it will tell you exactly why some few things never happen to us because we don't believe. And we think we are believing, but actually we don't. That 20 minutes lecture I believe is very, very important for individually us to understand, is my belief a firm belief or I just believe superficially? If you
Amen.
would do that, and I know you are a very, very firm believer of the Imam, just open your heart and watch. He will you will find him there. You will find him.
Amen. Amen. Thank you.
Send us the
Ameen.
link lecture.
Ji. I'm sorry?
Can you send us the link of that lecture?
Yes, Kamriya Sahib will send you on this group. Firm believe.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yali Madad. Thank you, everyone. I think we should close here. We'll see you all tomorrow morning, a little bit early, 8 o'clock, Dallas time. Yali Madad. Yali Madad.
Thank you.
Ya Ali Madad, and thank you.
Yali Madad. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yali
Yali
Madad.
Madad.
Yali Madad. Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad. Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Ali Madrasa.
Yali Madad. Yali Madad.
Yali Madan.
Yali Madad. Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad. Yali Madad.
Yani Madad? Yani Madad?
Maula Ali Madad.
Is Missionary Sahib there still?
No. I'm Maher Banu.
Okay, I was just wondering, I didn't understand what he said about the being a Betul Khayal is like a handkerchief.
No, I don't know. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.